Welcome back. A guest of mine the other day mentioned that he missed the short version of my show where it was just me talking and offering advice and suggestions. So, special thanks to Alex for giving me that prompt to do this. And when I started the show, a few years ago, that's what the plan of the format was going to be. It's just me talking about different things around burnout prevention, stress, and things like that, and was prompted to start interviewing guests. And well, that's taken off and it's been amazing. And I love to get to talk to the people I get to talk to. I consider it very, very awesome. And I'm very fortunate that I get to have the conversations with some amazing human beings across the globe and bring those conversations to you. So, and those will continue. But from time to time, I'm going to be interjecting just me and talking about whatever's going on in the world at this moment, or ideas or concepts, or my new book that's coming out. We'll talk about that later on. But at the end of the day, today and it's on October 28th, 2020. One of the things that's been weighing heavy on my mind, and I'm sure on the minds of many people, is apparently there's a U.S. presidential election coming up. And I know it has been a very, very stressful year for so many people. The pandemic, COVID 19, the challenges that many of us have faced, the losses that many of us have faced, whether it's loss of loved ones, losing my dad in March, to job losses and loss of relationships, and you name it. It's been a really challenging year for so many people. And add into it an election, which has been stressful no matter what political party you affiliate with. It has been a stressful period and is continues to show. Even in the stock market today, we're seeing the stock market drop like a lead balloon, and because investors are scared, there's uncertainty, and when there's uncertainty, they tend to panic, and stock prices tend to go down. And even over the last week or so, it's been earnings week. So if you don't trade stocks, real quick, earnings week is when most, the publicly traded organizations start reporting on their quarterly reports. And if you look at the list of companies that are reporting, over these next couple of weeks and last week, it's pretty much everybody you've ever heard of. And a lot of those earnings reports have been positive. They, beat expectations. They made more money than the analysts thought they would. Their earnings per share was higher than what they thought it would be. In a quote unquote normal situation, that would cause the stock to more or less go up. But there's cases where someone blew it out of the water and had a great quarter and their stock dropped by 10%. And you scratch your head and going, what in the world's going on? Why would that happen? They beat the analysts. That means it's better than they thought it would be. That's normally a good thing. But unfortunately, the challenge is we have this pandemic and the COVID cases continue to rise, and it's causing us a lot of stress, and people are worried about a variety of different things, and it takes a toll on everybody, including investors. And they end up deciding, well, we're going to just sell off, and the market starts dropping and people start losing money, and well, it's never a good thing. But I want to go back to the election. I don't tend to talk about politics on this show. I'll flirt with it occasionally, but I won't say, nor will I say today, what political affiliation that I am. Um, I won't tell you who I voted for, and yes, I have voted. Vote early and vote often, as Mayor Daley told us long ago. I voted once. I have one ballot in, and it was received. I had tracking information on it, so it was received. So make sure that my vote was in. But and I also joke, if you listen to some of my shows, because I'm a dual citizen, U.S. and Canadian citizen, I joke that I can vote and screw up two countries. And that's where I stop. I don't say anything else because I don't like sharing who I vote for. And especially in this climate, if you say who you vote for, if you believe the stats, half the population will be mad at you and be hateful and say some really nasty things about you. And it saddens me when we do that. Okay. Say what you want about the two political candidates. I can pick on both of them really easily, but I'm not going to do that in this format because it doesn't serve anything. What's more important as an educated voter is you as an individual should have beliefs and thoughts on how certain things should be done as far as the leaders of your state, your city, your town, your country. Okay. And there's different, parameters. What is your opinion on certain situations or certain policies? What's, your thoughts on education? What's your thoughts on abortion? What's your thoughts on trade? What's your thoughts on energy? What's your thoughts on the environment? What's your thoughts on a variety of different things? That's what you should look for when you're trying to determine if you don't know who you want to vote for on election day. If you don't know, if you're not sure, my recommendation is for you to not watch the nightly news, not watch any of the flavors that you have of news, because they're going to be slanted. Okay. Fox is going to be slanted one way, CNN is going to be slanted one way, NBC, CBS, ABC, all the above are all going to have some biases, quite frankly. And you could easily switch to one thing or another, especially if you're on the fence and you're not sure who you want to vote for. If you're uncertain who you want to vote for, then I did find a website. I have no affiliation with it. I actually looked it up earlier today because I was thinking about doing this episode and sharing with you, where can I find an unbiased list of where President Donald Trump sits on these types of endeavors? Where does former Vice President Biden sit on those same items? And there's a website, it's called, and I'll have this in the show notes, it's called ontheissues.org. So ontheissues.org. And you can click on links. You can see where President Trump sits on things. You can see where Vice President Biden sits on things. You can see where Kanye West sits on things, and all the other candidates that are running for the office of President of the United States. And I'm guessing if you drill down even further, you might be able to, and I didn't, so I apologize for that. You might even be able to look at if your state has a governor race or senator race or House of Representatives race or things like that. Then by all means, you can look in and see where those candidates stand on the policies. If you don't see a particular issue in this list of something you care about, let's say, for example, they didn't have anything on education, and that's a big concern of yours, you could go in and an internet search, say, Donald Trump's position on education, or Joe Biden's position on education, or Kanye West, or whomever. No, I didn't vote for Kanye West. I know I said I didn't tell you who I voted for. I did not vote for Kanye. He wasn't listed on my ballot. And so take that up with the city clerk's office. But anyway, but if you do know, and here's another thing, and this is a stress and prevention of burnout tip. If you've already voted and or you know who you're going to vote for on election day, your mind isn't going to be changed. You know you're going to vote for the candidate that you're going to vote for. My recommendation to you is do not watch the news over the next few days. You are going to be stressed out to no end because the candidate that you're not going to vote for is going to say something or do something that's going to piss you off. Doesn't matter who it is. You're going to be upset by this. And that's not going to do you any good. We've got enough crap in this world going on right now to make us upset. We don't need to add any more to it. And all the news agencies, doesn't matter what political flavor they are sensationalists. It's all about sensation right now because it's called ratings. They get paid if people watch them. Advertisers pay them money. That's how they make their money, is through the ads that you see. So they want more people watching so they can charge more for their ads. If you didn't know that, that's kind of how it works. Okay. Now, nothing against the news people at all. I know people professionally. that are in the news industry. Um, Majority of them are sweet human beings, and they're just doing the job. But it's a little sensationalist right now, and it's very straining on people. So if you know who you're going to vote for, don't bother watching anything. Especially if you don't think your mind is going to be changed, don't bother. Go to the polls, vote. Please cast your vote. If you have to stand in long lines, keep 6 feet apart, wear a damn mask, and be safe. That's all I ask. If you have already voted, why are you watching it? It's I know one of the top Google searches right now is how to change your vote, which I thought, okay, um, are you that back and forth on it? Maybe you should have waited until election day to cast your ballot if that's the case. But at the end of the day, go to a site like ontheissues.org and look up the things that matter to you, and you'll get hopefully an unbiased position of where they stand on those matters, so you can make an educated choice in who you vote for, no matter what office somebody runs, because that's what you should do. Not on their personality, not on what they've been accused of doing or what their kid was accused of doing or anything like that. That's just all fodder and things to try to distract you from the real situation and issues at hand. And the United States has some real issues to deal with. And you want to find out from each candidate, no matter what position, Senate, House, President, whatever, where they stand on those important issues to you. And then you vote for the candidate that's in most alignment with where you want to be. That's it. Turn off all the background noise of all of it. So if you haven't voted, please vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. You vote for who you want to vote for. I want you to vote for who you feel will be the best candidate in that position that they're running for. And do that every election, no matter what. Pick the right candidate that you feel is the best to do that role based on your position on the matters that they're supportive of. And if you do that, and not be upset with other people because they have a different opinion and different values. We're all in this together. We've heard that, but what concerns me is it certainly seems like our country is a lot more divided. And we've all heard the phrase, united we stand, divided we fall. And I don't want us to fall. I really don't. So no idea what's going to happen after the election. I gave up predicting elections a long time ago. But I do ask that you vote, and that you respect the process. And if you've already voted, don't watch the news. If you've already made up your mind who you're going to vote for, don't watch the news right now. Just go to the polls, cast your ballot, hope for the best for the country, and do your part as a citizen to make the country a beautiful place to live for your friends, your family, your neighbors, no matter what their background, what their political beliefs are. Love conquers all. So I love you all. Thank you so much for your time today. I wish you well and continued great health. Be well.